Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Grow and Clip Bonsai for Seniors. Today is the Children's Corner, and we're going to make a bog garden for the children. And Mr. Weather Tree says it's June 16th of 2022, Thursday at 94 degrees Fahrenheit or 34 degrees Celsius. We're going to do the Sarracenia purpurae, the two of them, plus the Drosera filiformis, or it's called a sundew plant, with some live sphagnum moss. You need a plastic pot because clay pots, they let everything go. They wick out too much water, so it's no good. So I got a screen cut out. Here's my bucket. I put a hole right here with a screen on it. You can see it. Put it on a little crooked, but what are you going to do? Kids will do the same. And this is just a sprinkler head from an old fountain pump. And I just glued it on with hot glue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a plenum first. And what that is, oh yeah, here's the hydras. My grandson says, I'll put this on your video. Maybe we can put it in a pot if we got room. But I'm going to make a plenum first with just lava rock. And you can get this at Ace Hardware. It's $5 for a bag. Lava rock. There it is, and I rinsed it out real good. I'm just going to put a small coat on the bottom. Because with the plenum, we're going to make it like an aerobic bacteria. The water doesn't have to move, but at least it's got some place for like an exchange. I can't explain a plenum that good, but what are you going to do? I know it works. Trust me. It keeps all the bad bacteria from forming on the bottom. There we go. And that hole, the water's going to fill up only so high, and that hole's going to let the excess water drain out. So you can see that I got the hole about that high up. So now, okay, well, here it is. Put the screen on the top, and that'll keep most of the soil out from going into the plenum. I could take my scissors and cut the screen just so I can get it around the old plastic, whatchamacallit, fountain pump head. But you can just get a PVC pipe and put it in there. And then, here's my well, let's get these on the side here because now I have to put in the my mix. And the mix is 50% perlite and 50% straight peat moss because they like an acid-based soil. So all I'm going to do is put it in the bottom real good. That's all we're going to do. Just pile it in there. Let the kids do it. Let them get their hands dirty. Because this will give them something to do. And you can always put this around your bonsai trees for them to get them interested because kids love to look at carnivorous plants. And if you ain't got a glue gun, once you get the soil in, it'll hold your spigot in place. And I'm using distilled water. Get that in there. I had to wet that real good. So let's get Mr. Elk now. We have to do this by this because Mr. Elephant had fertilizer and stuff in it. So I could use Mrs. Elephant, but I don't want to get her too dirty. Right now she's making supper for Mr. Elephant. So I'm using distilled water, or you can put the aquarium stuff, the chlorinator in there. And that'll help take all the toxins out because you can't have nothing in here because it'll kill the plant. So all I'm going to do, put some water into our little hole here. Get some into our soil. And just pack it into the bottom real good. I'm going to use just an old cup because I can't find my... Oh, you're not seeing everything. I'm just going to use a cup and put the rest in. Leaving a little bit on the top for the edge. Now the other ones on my other video, you see me, I planted them in the... because I didn't have the right mix. So I used pine bark, but right now we got the right mix, and to get them out of them pots, this will be better. Now the Drosera filiformis, that's the sundew plant. It's a cold hardy plant, so it's good for my zone right here, zone 5. So it overwinter good, and I'll put them all in a microclimate to help them overwinter real good. Get that in there real nice. I think we'll just have enough. I mixed up a whole bucket here to fill up this little bucket. There we go. Just like that. I'm no expert on these plants, but I'm getting these in there pretty good. Get a little more soil for up there. And then I'll show you what we're gonna do. Get a little more here. I had this in the sun, or in the shade, so with the warm temperatures, it's nice and warm, not cold. Okay, so we got that much filled. Hope I wasn't in your way. I got to learn not to look, but you can see where the rim is at. Now we're going to put our pot on the side, and then we're going to take our moss out of here and put it in there. Take it out of this one like that. Here's the sundew. I must like the full sun because look at the flower heads. So hopefully we'll get some more little baby sundews. So they're leaking like crazy. So all I'm going to do is put this here. Now the reason why I didn't take the sphagnum moss off, because I knew I was going to get the pure sphagnum moss. Now when you buy sphagnum moss, make sure it's pure sphagnum moss. I got the Schultz because it'll say on the bag, where is it? It'll tell you on the bag the ingredients. And there you go. And get ingredients, pure sphagnum moss, because if you look at other bags of peat moss, they have a wetting agent in there and they have fertilizer in there. So you don't want that because these cannot have it. So now you can see how it's still wrapped in the sphagnum moss. So all we're going to do is gently just break it apart. Take the moss off the best we can so we can expose the roots. Just like that. And you can see the nice root system that it has. Look at that. So then we put this pot on the side. We take this pot and then we just make a hole so we can get our roots in there nice and gentle. And don't be afraid to move the soil out of the way. We had a good rain last night, so it's a hot, steamy day again. And don't be afraid. Push it in. Just like that. And get a little more of our mixture. Put it on the side. Just like that. And then we'll take the other one out. Let me put this down here so you can see what I'm doing. If I'm in my way, tell me I'm gonna take down. Get out of the way. Okay, so we're gonna take this one out. Put our tag on the side. Just like that. And see, they come in sphagnum moss. See, so all we're gonna do is peel it away. Be real gentle, because we don't want to try to break any of the roots on it. Okay, Tom, what you doing? There it is. Just take that all out. And this is being a small one, it's got a real small root system. So we're going to try to get these roots out the best we can. And we can put this guy maybe in a corner here. You gotta just put your hands in there and let the kids move the soil out of the way, and then let them hold it real gentle like, and then get your plant into the soil. There we go. Just get a little more soil over here. And then we're going to get our little Drosera out. These when you buy them, they come in a pot. So we're going to take this out. And you got to try on these. Try not to get the soil onto the sticky parts, because then they'll just stick under. You can't get them off. So I don't know what this is, a weed. Weeds are every place. So the roots are in there, so I'm not going to take more off of it because it's got a real shallow root system there. And we're just going to put this one over here. And will our hydra fit in there? So the kids can decorate? No, that one's too big. We're going to have to put something else in there. But we're going to put this in like this. Dig it in. And just push it in real nice. Just like that. Let's get this out of the way. Okay. Get a little bit of more of our moss. Put that in. Now you can make this, you can put this by your bonsai trees, and this can be a display. You can even make a smaller bog garden. But for now I'm making this one a big one, because I know these things will, if everything is right, they'll grow real good. So right now I'm going to fill this up. And see, with the rock in there, lets the water run right in. And you can see the water's coming out. So right now I'm going to hold it. Just like that. There we go. Now that should help soak everything up. Tom, okay, we'll take this one because this one had nothing in here but sphagnum moss. I should have bought a little one because Pinkie Pie doesn't have she had fertilizer in there too, and fish water. We don't want that. I mean, fish water isn't bad, but now we want this all in there so it gets good soaking wet. And you can see the water coming out of the hole, so that's good, because it'll just have enough to keep it moist. There, just like that. Now we'll take our moss. This is our sphagnum moss. It's been growing good for me. So we'll just put it around our pitcher plants and our sundew plant. And with this ground staying moist, it will keep the moss from drying out, because once this moss dries out, it doesn't grow. I had this under my boxwood, so all the everything was getting full of leaves. Now they say there's a crown on here, but I don't feel it on a moss, on this type of moss, but you never know. So we're just going to lift the pitchers up, put it underneath. And I'm doing this in the evening. Right now it's going to be 5:30, and the sun will be going down pretty good. So I'm going to stick this one here. Some more moss there. And all it is you want this moss to grow and cover this so as to hold the moisture in for your carnivorous plants, because kids get a kick out of plants eating bugs. So these two plants are excellent choice of doing it for the children. You'll get them interested in bonsai, and well, first you're going to get them in plants, and then from there you get them interested into bonsai. But we're going to do just like that. That's our moss. Man, Tom, I wish I could have brought this in closer, but with all this junk in the way. Let's see if it doesn't fall down. Well, of course, there's weeds, but that can be expected. And we'll just put it in. And this is an easy way to fill it. And with the lava rock on the bottom, it'll keep the bottom from getting plugged up. But you can see how nice this sphagnum moss is. Just like that. Or do I got it upside down? There we go. Then I'll get a spray bottle so I can moisten them to keep them wet for now. Take some of this off, put them under here, and just push it into the soil. There we go. Just like that. Put all the little pieces there, because they should spread. And if we're lucky, these flowers will bloom. There's two of them, and once they bloom, if they set seed, the seed will fall into the moss and it'll help it to grow, the seed. So here's some more moss, and we're going to just stick it right in this area right here. Just like that. And there's a real teeny little baby piece of moss. That'll go into there. Make sure you get it in good contact with the soil, because we want it wet. Just like that. I don't know if you can see it, but as I press down, you can see the water coming up. There we go. And I'm all full of water here. What are you gonna do? But that's our... Now we got a couple of... should have bought a rag, but that's why God made pants. Wipe them in there. That's all I can do. So we're gonna just cut the dead pitchers off. It ain't gonna hurt. Gotta cut them off anyway. Whatever's dead. There we go. Just like that. Get our sundew in there straight. Take out some of the dead ones. There we go. The main thing is to get them in there good and tight and nice. I'll put this one a little closer to the base so it doesn't dry out. Just like that. Let the kids do it. Let the kids press in the moss. You can buy live sphagnum moss. Or you can try to find some moss outside where no fertilizer was used. And there you go. Because don't forget, they catch the bugs. And the bugs is will be the fertilizer for them. Now I got an old rock here I can probably put in here. But I think just like this will be good enough. So let me show you how it looks right now. If you can see it. Then I'll put it outside. I did it late in the afternoon because with the heat out and the sun and everything, they were too hot to transplant them. But now the roots have a good base to grow, and I can just keep watering this. And if you can get a PVC pipe, works just as good. This one is just an old pump, water pump pipe that has the hole on the top. So that's it. Now, what's the hard part? Cleaning up all that water and putting it outside. So I'll cap up my distilled water, and I'll have to make some water, let it sit real good, because I got the stuff for the fish to take all the chlorine and chloramides out. So that's what you do. Something easy for the kids, and you'll get the kids interested because it's such an easy project. And this barrel, guess how much it was? $3. Menards. Plus you get 11% off. So if you got a Menards around you, it's nice. So there we go. That's our little garden. So today's Thursday. I won't hold you up. It's about 5:35 right now in the afternoon. So it's Thursday, cup of tea, a good book, even though it's hot, a cup of tea in the late evening is good enough. I mean, something to relax by. So from Mr. Elephant and Pinkie Pie, and for my grandson's hydro, I could probably put this in the yard by it. You got yourself your own little bog garden. Look how nice that looks. And all this is sticky here is to catch the bugs. And remember, the bugs are the fertilizer, so you don't fertilize it. So take care, everybody. Good book tonight. Cup of tea, relax, and have a good day. And I don't want to keep babbling. Take care, everybody.